CUET PG entrance आ गया, आपको पता है ना? You must be knowing CUET PG entrance. Earlier, when you wanted to do post graduation, you used to go for nearby colleges or you used to go for some entrances. JNU had different entrance, DUET, Delhi University entrance test, then Jamia had entrances, BHU and Punjab University. So when these universities were having separate entrances, normally BHU entrance thoda easy hota tha, focusing on British history and Indian literature. DU MA entrance, same net standard. And JNU MA entrance net se bhi tough standard. The standard of CUET PG entrance has just like net now. And there they questioned a particular thing related to King Lear, the concept of disability. The latest things. In CUET PG, this question has been asked. DUET PG. अब CUET आने वाला है. CUET का standard same net का होगा. अगर आपसे पहले एग्जाम हुआ उनका, तो विल गेट योर पेपर प्रैक्टिस करवाने के लिए. टॉप लेवल कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम्स में यही चीज होगी कि इसका हमर्शिया क्या था, हिस्ट्री या पेसोस किस में निकलते हैं, या किंग लियर में डिसेबिलिटी कॉन्सेप्ट क्या है. एंड डिसेबिलिटी कॉन्सेप्ट ऑफ किंग लियर इज ऑल्सो अ क्वेश्चन ऑफ यूपीएससी मेंस. नाउ लेट्स गो फॉर किंग लियर. Now this is again very important story. See, talking about King Lear, first thing that you have to remember is that King Lear is one of the greatest tragedy which has maximum deaths. Shakespeare की maximum deaths की story है ये. इसमें मानते हैं कि somewhere it is a dance macabre play. So they may ask you a question that out of these Shakespearean plays, which can be categorized as a dance macabre play? What is dance macabre? Dance of death. But remember this thing. King Lear is a dance macabre play, but what if in option Titus Andronicus is given? Dance macabre is where a lot of deaths take place. A tragedy with so many deaths. So King Lear has so many deaths. But what if in the option they have given Titus Andronicus? Then it's Titus Andronicus. So overall, this is Titus Andronicus. If they go for normal Hamlet, King Lear, Macbeth and all, then their King Lear is the dance macabre play. Story of the great King Lear. He had 3 daughters: Cordelia, Goneril, Regan. Goneril is the eldest one. ये number 1 daughter है, number 2 है. Cordelia is the youngest one. Cordelia is the youngest one. So according to age, Cordelia is the 3rd daughter. According to importance, she is more important, so I have written first. Cordelia is the heroine actually. So Cordelia is the 3rd daughter, Goneril, Regan. Now see what happens. Just like other characters, King Lear is an old king now. He wants to be retired, and here he calls them to have a meeting. We can simply say for praise. He asks his daughters, "Ki show me your love, show me your regards for me." Before sharing the property, he says, "Show me your love, show me your regards for me. Come talk to me." Now all of these daughters, they come in front of him. They all know that father can divide the property. Father has called us for the same thing. He questions that, what is the level of your devotion for me? How much do you love me? The first daughter, the second daughter, they come with their claims. They say, "You are our life. We can do anything for you. You are the greatest father we have ever had. आप दुनिया के सबसे महान पिता हैं." All those kind of, पता है बहुत बड़ी प्रॉपर्टी मिलने वाली है. तो Goneril and Regan praise him a lot. Flattering, adulation. But when the Cordelia's turn comes, and this is very important thing, Cordelia is very straightforward. She does not boast. ये जाकर के वहां पे बोस्टिंग शुरू नहीं करती कि ओके माय फादर, यू आर ग्रेटेस्ट वन. शी सेज दैट जस्ट लाइक एनी अदर फादर, यू आर अ गुड मैन, अ सिंपल मैन, एंड आवर बॉन्ड is natural bond. I adore you, I love you as a girl should love her father. Not more than that, not less than that. It's a natural bond. Why should I just go for flattering and adulation? तो इन शॉर्ट क्या होता है कि ये सिंपल सी बात बोलती है कि जो है वो है, सिंपल है जी, कोई एग्जैजरेशन नहीं है, कोई एलिट्रे क्या बोलते हैं उसको, बहुत ज्यादा बढ़ा चढ़ा के हाइपरबोलिक नहीं है. But King Lear doesn't like it. He wanted to hear some different words. He gets angry and there is a line, how sad it is to have a thankless child. Write down this thing. How sad it is to have a thankless child. एक ऐसा बच्चा जिसको इस चीज का वो ही नहीं है कि मेरे पिता ने क्या किया. तो बोलता है just like a snake, venomous. जैसे एक सांप किसी को डस ले, just like that there is a feeling to have a thankless child. Now here, according to critics, they both have their hamartia. Hamartia we already have talked. What is hamartia? So what is King Lear's hamartia here? King Lear's hamartia is old age frivolities. That phrase has been used by A.C. Bradley. ओल्ड एज whimsical nature. जैसे जैसे एक एज हो जाती है तो लोग जिद्दी हो जाते हैं, ठीक है. सो ही वॉन्ट्स टू हेयर हिज प्रेज, ही वॉन्ट्स टू बी फ्लैटर्ड, समटाइम्स वी वॉन्ट टू हेयर गुड वर्ड्स. सो दिस इज हिज प्रॉब्लम. ही इज नॉट बैड कैरेक्टर, in fact he will be the most victimized character here. But then in some age where you want to hear praises, where you're not ready to take straightforward words, his hamartia is that instead of understanding the honesty of the third daughter Cordelia, he just expels her. उसको राज्य से बाहर निकाल देता है. बोलता नहीं, go. One of his loyal courtier, Kent, he opposes. He says no, don't expel her. वो बोलता तुम भी जाओ, you also leave. This whimsical nature, this old age frivolities, बुढ़ापे का जो सनकीपन बोल सकते हैं जिसको, that has been called the hamartia of King Lear. A.C. Bradley के according, this is his hamartia. Now, what is the hamartia of Cordelia? Because Cordelia can be called a tragic queen. So like a tragic heroine. Cordelia का क्या प्रॉब्लम था? Tell me. Cordelia का hamartia है कि नहीं है? Anybody who says कि नहीं सर Cordelia का कोई hamartia नहीं है. What was her fault? Though hamartias are normally the human nature, not the fault. नहीं, अपोज नहीं, सीधी बात की. वी ऑल से ना सीधी बात कर, बट नॉर्मली वी डोंट वांट टू हियर द सीधी बात. अच्छा, जस्ट इमेजिन, आई गिव यू द सिंपल आइडिया. यू कम टू मी, सर जीआरएफ हो जाएगा ना. अब मैं आपसे बोलूं कॉर्डेलिया की तरह पढ़ेगा तो हो जाएगा. सर पक्का हो जाएगा, मुझे क्या पता. सर मैं तो आपके पास आया हूं सब कुछ छोड़ के, तो भाई मैं थोड़ी देर लिखूंगा तेरा पेपर. पढ़ेगा तो तू ही ना, लिखेगा तो तू ही ना. सीधी बात है कि नहीं है? लेकिन सुनना नहीं चाहता कोई है. कोई सुनना चाहेगा? Nobody wants to hear these kind of words. So technically her hamartia is that she should understand her father's nature. She should not be damn frank. Being frank is not, it's not helping you every time. हर वक्त frank नहीं हो सकते. So her hamartia is being over straightforwardness. उसका जो straightforwardness है. Now, there were some people who wanted to marry the Princess Cordelia. Some people were there. But when they get to know that Cordelia, she has been expelled from the kingdom, okay, and the father King Lear has disowned her. Technically, Cordelia doesn't have any property. So all the princesses, those who have come to marry her, they say a no. But then Duke of France, he appreciates her straightforward nature, and Duke of France marries her. Now she is off the scene. अब इसकी फ्रांस के राजा से शादी हो जाती है. ड्यूक ऑफ फ्रांस कर देना, फ्रांस ड्यूक, and she is off the scene. Now, what did you understand here? A simple court scene where King Lear has expelled two people, Kent and Cordelia. They have been expelled. Now King Lear has a friend, Gloucester. एक parallel story है. This is also a problem in King Lear. इसमें parallel story बहुत सारी हैं. Has two sons, Edmund, Edgar. Edmund is a son who is illegitimate son. This is the parallel story in King Lear. This is also one of the stories of Shakespeare which has many subplots. So, Edmund He's a illegitimate son, technically not given that much respect, while Edgar is a legitimate son and a good son. You can write down this thing like this: good man, and he's the bad one. He's the villain. He's the main villain. Now, Edmund also wants to take revenge from his father, Gloucester, for being illegitimate. There is a line when he gets a chance to take revenge. There is a famous line from Edmund. He says, "Even a dog has a day." Remember the line? और यहां पे इसकी लैंग्वेज चेंज कर दी थी पहले. It was a bastard actually. दोनों चीज मेंशन कर रहा हूं आपको यहां पे. I'm mentioning you both things. Original line was, "Even a bastard has a day," just like dog has a day. But then Bowdler, remember Thomas Bowdler, who censored Shakespeare, Bowdlerism? Yes, Bowdler converted into a dog, and now we call it "Every dog has a day." Every dog has a day. So he says, even a bastard has a day. He tells his father that Edgar is plotting against you. Edgar is also expelled. Edgar becomes a beggar in the disguise of a character called Tom O'Bedlam. अब एडगर भी घर से बाहर चला गया. इसने जो बैड सन है, द बैड सन टोल्ड फादर दैट द गुड सन इज अगेंस्ट यू. मतलब इसको बहला फुसला के. And Gloucester asked Edgar to leave. Edgar goes in the forest in the disguise of a beggar. And his name of the disguise is Tom O'Bedlam. He keeps on singing philosophical songs. Tom O'Bedlam करके songs भी गाता है ये. इस song का भी नाम है Tom O'Bedlam. याद रखना this point. This is very important. Now, Cordelia is off the scene. Kent is also away. And Gloucester is already troubled. In fact, last में एक chance आएगा जहाँ Gloucester suicide करने जाएगा. I'll tell you that. Now what happens here? King Lear is alone. And these daughters, Goneril and Regan, who were swearing that they love their father more than anything, they talk to each other in private and they confess to each other what they think of their father. He's a madman. He's a fool, clumsy guy, not good for anything, and how they have fooled him. So when these two daughters, they fooled King Lear divided his property 50-50 in these two daughters and just kept 100 knights under his command. ये आपसे पूछ सकते हैं that when King Lear divided his property, what portion or how many people he kept for himself? 100 knights. So he's like that, I will own only these 100 villages with 100 knights. Rest of the property you take. Rest of my kingdom, empire, that got divided. Now these daughters, they feel that father has taken too much. He's an old man. What will he do of 100 knights with those 100 territories? इतना भी जरूरत नहीं है यार, उसको क्या करना है इतना दे करके. Then they make some excuses and start receding these things. अब one by one ये सारी चीजें decrease हो जाती हैं, खत्म हो जाती हैं. And then King Lear realizes his mistake when everything has been taken from him. King Lear realizes his mistake that I have done blunders. I have expelled my good daughter. And here he comes out of his palace. He leaves the palace, comes out. And there we find the famous storm scene. अब वो भी महल छोड़ के निकल गया है. King Lear, realizing his mistake, that what wrong he has done, expelled the good daughter, divided property in the bad daughters. He leaves his kingdom, he leaves his palace, goes in wilderness, and there he's like mad. Now remember this thing, question of Rajasthan set. आज तक ये question repeat नहीं हुआ है किसी भी set में, किसी भी net में. बताया तो कैंट को निकाल दिया था. अब वो भी डिस्गाइज में आएगा. अब आएगा, अब इसके साथ आएगा डिस्गाइज में. कैंट को निकाल दिया था ना कॉर्डेलिया के साथ. सी व्हेन आई अटेम्प्टेड राजस्थान सेट, ठीक है, एक क्वेश्चन आया था हिस्टीरिया पेसोस. तो एट द टाइम आई डिडंट इवन नो दैट वर्ड. मुझे वो वर्ड भी नहीं पता था क्या है ये हिस्टीरिया पेसोस. द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग अबाउट दिस थिंग इज दैट उसके बाद से आज तक टिल नाउ I have not seen this question in any paper. एक भी पेपर में ये क्वेश्चन नहीं देखा मैंने. hysteria passos, Passos. Question was simple. In which tragedy we find the elements of hysteria passos? I didn't know the answer. I made the guess. My guess was correct because I simply understood hysteria. So options mein I selected some options, some hysterical character. Hysteria you all know. क्या होता है hysteria? A mad kind of behavior, na pagalpan. So King Lear, I knew this, that King Lear was mad. So I connected hysteria to him and technically my option was right. Till now that question has not been repeated. अभी 26 मार्च को राजस्थान सेट एग्जाम होने वाला है. Hopefully repeat हो जाए. Please remember, hysteria passos is a Latin term for hysterical behavior. Hysteria passos is a Latin term for hysterical behavior, and this is Hamershia's point. Just like hubris. Question and net mein, this is the question of net exam. Hubris, I'll write it here. Hubris. Hubris is pride. One of the Hamershias. Just suppose somebody becomes victim of hubris. It means he was proud of his things, he was egoistic. So hubris is pride. Hysteria passos is your hysterical behavior. Somebody is very angry, like Othello. So those hysterical extreme behaviors. So remember this thing. Now King Lear's that behavior, hysterical behavior, it was the question. CUET PG entrance आ गया, आपको पता है ना? You must be knowing CUET PG entrance. Earlier, when you wanted to do post-graduation, you used to go for nearby colleges or you used to go for some entrances. JNU had different entrance, DUET, Delhi University entrance test, then Jamia had entrances, BHU and Punjab University. So when these universities were having separate entrances, normally BHU entrance thoda easy hota tha, focusing on British history and Indian literature. DU MA entrance, same net standard. And JNU MA entrance net se bhi tough standard. So we used to get papers, हम check करते थे, हम देखते थे. JNU papers आपको library में मिलेंगे. They don't even publish it. You can't find it on websites. DU papers, JNU papers फिर भी मिल जाएंगे. Local passport जो printers होते हैं उनके पास, वो students वगैरह करवा लेते हैं. The standard of CUET PG entrance has just like net now. And there they questioned a particular thing related to King Lear, the concept of disability. The latest things. In CUET PG, this question has been asked. DUET PG. अब CUET आने वाला है. CUET का standard same net का होगा. अगर आपसे पहले एग्जाम हुआ उनका, तो will get your paper. प्रैक्टिस करवाने के लिए. क्वेश्चन क्या था? दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी एंट्रेंस टेस्ट, क्योंकि अब DU JNU एक ही सिलेबस आने वाला है. Disability concept of King Lear. What is the disability concept of King Lear? King Lear had proper hands, legs, eyes and all. What kind of disability? Exactly. Mental disability. Now the studies are like this, that studying character like King Lear, our majestic king becoming a disabled king. Mentally, he's retarded now. His mind is like so much confused, not able to take proper decisions. They bring this kind of question. Normal people, they are doing it. Normal King Lear, anybody would read King Lear. There are hundreds of websites. कोई भी website said read 2-3 times the stories, mug up the characters, some quotations, you're done with King Lear. But you're done for your graduation level. Top level competitive exams में यही चीज होगी कि इसका Hamershiya क्या था, hysteria passos किस में निकलता है, या King Lear में disability concept क्या है. And disability concept of King Lear is also a question of UPSC mains. Discuss. The discuss करना होता तो वहां you have to go for it. Because we have never talked about this thing. Initially, now people talk the mental disability. Remember one of my students, I told you when I was talking to him, he was addressing us as temporarily abled. प्रॉब्लम ये मेंटल डिसऑर्डर हम चेक नहीं करते. अब किंग लियर का सिचुएशन देखो. द ग्रेटेस्ट किंग, मैजेस्टिक किंग, देन आउट ऑफ सम स्टूपिड बिहेवियर एक्सपेल्ड द ग्रेट डॉटर, द ऑनेस्ट वन, एंड इज नाउ अ पपेट. एंड दिस थिंग gives him a shock. In a hysterical behavior, he goes out of the storm, out of the palace, and there is a storm going on. Now, this is the storm scene. Basic introduction of storm scene मैं अभी देता हूं आपको. Detailed description of storm scene, dagger scene, we will be doing once we are done with the plays of Shakespeare. What happens here? The storm scene has double effect. Please remember this thing. Double effect. First for King Lear, and second effect is for audience or the readers. Technically audience, because plays are for audience. Plays are not meant to be written. Question of second shift. Closet drama. The plays which are meant to be written, not performed, are called closet drama. But these dramas are to be performed. Write down this thing. Closet drama. What is closet drama? The dramas which are only written, not performed. Dramas on paper. That's closet drama. Now see, अब देखो क्या होता है. I ask you a question. This is the best thing of offline classes. Offline का मजा ही यही है. सामने बात होती है. I also learn from you. Tell me. आप बताओ. तुम्हारा दिमाग खराब है. बहुत बड़ी गलती हो गई है. You have done some bigger mistake. You are guilty. You are ashamed of yourself. Guilty भी हो. And then you are outside. You have left your palace. You are running away from that guilt. And बाहर बहुत तूफान चल रहा है. What will be your mental state? His mental state. What will be your mental state? Think about it. Storm is outside, but storm is inside also. In the mind, there is a storm going on. It's related. The dramatic effect is, that's objective correlated, that King Lear feels relaxed. He feels better. Why? Come on guys, 3 Idiot देखिए ना. 3 Idiot देखिए ना. आप फेल हो गए, आपका दोस्त भी फेल हो गया, आपका दुख कम हो जाता है. दुख बढ़ता कब है? जब दोस्त स्टॉप कर जाए और आप रह जाओ. तो किंग लियर को क्या है कि I have a storm outside and the nature is also perplexed, troubled. Nature has the storm. He feels relaxed that I'm not the only one who is troubled. So King Lear को relaxation मिलता है. Remember the line, मेरा गम कितना कम है, दुनिया में कितना गम है. So when you compare your pain to the world's pain, you find out that your pain is nothing. एक अमीर आदमी रो रहा है कि उसकी मर्सिडीज पुरानी हो गई है. उसको जब अपना दुख दिखेगा ना कि बस में खड़े होकर जाना पड़ता है, तो उसे लगेगा नहीं छोड़ यार कोई बात नहीं, ठीक है. किंग लियर को तो एज ए कैरेक्टर this is releasing his anxiety. But for audience who is emotionally connected to King Lear and can see the rough atmosphere outside, rough nature, for audience it's increasing pain. For those, because your first reaction was audience reaction. You said sir उसका pain increase हो रहा है. उसका नहीं, उससे तो दुख में लग रहा है कि चलो दुनिया ही दुखी है, दुनिया ही दुखी है. But for audience who are like, oh old man, just one mistake, they feel it intensed. So now when he's outside, Kent also comes. Kent is in disguise. He starts attending him. He doesn't know Kent is attending me. Here another story going on. Goneril and Regan, try to understand, there are multiple stories mixed. Goneril and Regan both are married. एक ड्यूक कॉर्नवॉल है, एक ड्यूक दूसरा अल्बानी है, उससे शादी है. कॉर्नवॉल और अल्बानी से मैरिज है. But they both are having an affair with Edmund. इसका भी इसी से अफेयर है, इसका भी इसी से अफेयर है. Both of them, they are deceiving their husbands also. Duke of Albany, Duke of Cornwall. Edmund, he has already cheated his father, Gloucester. Gloucester becomes blind, and blindness is going to commit suicide. Gloucester becomes blind. He also realizes that just like King Lear, he has been deceived by his son Edmund. He has also expelled his good son Edgar. Gloucester is going to commit suicide. He climbs a cliff to jump, and then his son in the disguise. Who saves him? Tom O. Bedlam. He saves him. Tom O. Bedlam saves him. But though he doesn't tell that I'm your son only. He just saves him, talking about the life, futility of life, value of life. There is a philosophy. Now these daughters who have affair with Edmund, they try to fight. A fight starts when Cordelia gets to know that father has been deceived. Cordelia comes with the French army. They go for their army. अब फाइट भी होती है. In between, the husbands, they get to know that she's having an affair. He cheating both of them. Gondrel and Regan, they both realize that now our husbands know the truth. We have been cheated by Edmund. There is no way out. So they both commit suicide. They die. The war takes place. French army gets defeated. France वाले भी हार जाते हैं. Cordelia taken in the custody. And before King Lear could actually take control and stop the war, इससे पहले कि कुछ कर पाए, वॉर रोक पाए, कुछ को, Cordelia is already dead. She could not handle the torture. And then there is a scene, King Lear taking her body in the lap. He comes. वहां पे बहुत सारे emotional King Lear curses, and it's like the old man who has lost his kid, and the way he cries, the way he curses. आपको बताया ना कि यहाँ पे बहुत सारे quotations हैं. As flies to the wanton boys. Write down this thing. ये किंग लियर का कोट है, बहुत फेमस कोट है. ये चीज बोलते हैं that man is just a puppet. As flies to the wanton boys, we are to the God. We are to the God. They kill us for their sport. They kill us for their sport. As flies to the wanton boys, we are to the God. They kill us for their sport. As flies to the wanton boys. Wanton boys, delinquent boys, shaitan bacche, mischievous. When there was no internet in your childhood, you must have done the same. No? We used to run after the flies, butterflies. तितलियों के पीछे भागते थे. I don't know whether your childhood was like that or not, but mine was. 90s kids. Grass ऊपर होता है, grass ऊपर. What do you call it in your language? टिड्डा. हाँ, टिड्डा, टिड्डी, टिड्डा, मामा जी का घोड़ा, राम जी का घोड़ा, ऐसे बहुत सारे नाम होते हैं. हम लोग पता क्या करते थे? उसको पकड़ के ना ऐसे साइड से, और उसके एक पैर में धागा बांधे सुई का, फिर वो उड़ता रहता है, उसको खींचते रहते थे. Now I feel it that was so inhuman. पर छोटे छोटे बच्चे थे, 7-8 साल 10 साल के, और गुलेल बना लेते थे साइकिल की ट्यूब से काट के. वो खुद करते थे ब्लेड से काट के, और ट्यूब बना कर वो नीम की जो होती है, निम्बोली, नीम की हरी हरी होती है, वो हमारे वेपन्स होते थे, उससे खेलते थे. तो ये कह रहे जो शैतान बच्चे हैं, शैतान बच्चे क्या करते हैं? wanton boys. वो फ्लाइज की क्या वैल्यू है? व्हाट्स द वैल्यू ऑफ द फ्लाइज टू द wanton boys? दिस इज द सेम वैल्यू ऑफ अस फॉर द गॉड्स. दे किल अस फॉर देयर स्पोर्ट. जब उनको टाइम पास करना होता है, दे किल अस. Kent looks at King Lear and says, अरे Kent is a courtier. Kent courtier है. Kent disguise में King Lear को सर्व करता है. When King Lear asks Cordelia to leave, then one courtier, one loyal courtier, he opposes King Lear. He says, नहीं सर, गलत कर रहे हो. Don't expel this girl. She is honest. So वो कहता है तू भी जा. You also get lost. So Kent meets King Lear again, but in disguise, and he helps them. He helps him. उसकी एक लाइन है. He is the unluckiest man I have ever seen. लाइन लिख लो. When King Lear is crying over the death of his daughter, when King Lear is crying over the death of his daughter, he says, he is the unluckiest man I have ever seen. दुनिया का सबसे I have ever seen. Kent बोलता King Lear को. Just think about this. What was the fault of King Lear? गलती क्या की इसने? So कीर्ति, दिमाग नहीं था. दिमाग तो हमारे पास भी नहीं होता ना. एक we are not always smart. Smallest nano kind of level, there are some actions, and then you throw the stone, and then you say, okay, nothing happened. Did you actually see all those effects connected to it? वो स्टोन किसी मछली के पास गया होगा, उस मछली ने अपनी डायरेक्शन चेंज की होगी, उसकी जिंदगी में कुछ और डायरेक्शन था, कहीं से कुछ और डायरेक्शन चेंज हो गया. Anyway, the finest example of butterfly effect is your World War I. What happened in World War I? The Prince of Serbia, Prince Ferdinand, he got killed. Do you know the Prince of Serbia, Ferdinand, got killed because of just one mistake? His driver took a wrong turn. Wrong turn पे पूरी मूवी बना दी है. एक गलत टर्न. उसका ड्राइवर जो गाड़ी को भगाना चाहता था, क्योंकि उस पर अटैक हुआ, he wanted to take the car away, but unfortunately he missed his street, took a wrong turn in another street. किसी और गली में चला गया वो गाड़ी लेके, और जब वो गाड़ी पीछे कर रहा था, बैक कर रहा था, when he was trying to rectify his mistake, some 20 years boy got a chance with a handmade gun और फर्डिनेंड को सीधा गोली मार दी. Imagine, एक wrong turn, और उस बंदे को पता भी नहीं था that मेरे सामने फर्डिनेंड होगा. उसको मौका मिला, उसने गोली मार दी. बट हुआ क्या उसके बाद? इमेजिन वो रॉन्ग टर्न नहीं होता. इमेजिन उस ड्राइवर को रूट्स पता होती. देयर वुड हैव बीन नो वर्ल्ड वॉर. द इमीडिएट रीजन ऑफ ब्रेकिंग आउट द वर्ल्ड वॉर वन वाज द किलिंग ऑफ प्रिंस फर्डिनेंड. तो जैसे ही डेथ हुई, वॉर शुरू हो गया. दिस इज कॉल्ड बटरफ्लाई इफेक्ट. एक छोटी सी चीज, नागासाकी में जो ब्लास्ट हुआ था, न्यूक्लियर ब्लास्ट, उससे पहले दे हैड देयर डिफरेंट टारगेट्स. Just because of clouds, सोचो, just because of clouds, they changed the target. They were like, sir, यहां तो दिख नहीं रहा है, आप बताओ कहां जाना है. वो क्या, काम करो, नागासाकी चले जाओ. तो even if you read one topic, you read one question, that's a butterfly effect. You never know आज का पढ़ा हुआ कहां पे कहां क्या याद आ जाएगा. ठीक है? Did you get this thing? Clear? Now this was King Lear. Remember this thing. King Lear में we'll be discussing two things. We will be discussing storm scene and disability concept. इसको आप लिख सकते हो. There I will make you write quotations. बहुत सारे quotes लिखवाने हैं. Special scenes के important quotes once we are done with Shakespearean plays. So all the special scenes and all the special quotations we have to write down. Hamlet talking to his mother. How he's cursing her. What are the phrases he takes? When Hamlet says, Horatio, I'm dead. Horatio says, good night, man, sleep. So जो उसके लास्ट लाइन जाओगे तो स्लीप वेल, इस तरह से. We have to write down these quotations. Macbeth को वेलकम करती हैं witches. So what are the words, what are the phrases? And बैंको को exactly line बोलते हैं वो, that thy children will be the king but thou not. तुम नहीं बनोगे. Line mention होती है वहां पे clearly. So we'll go for these quotations. Now let's go for the next work.